Ladies and gentlemen, here is a new NSL live talk, and I am very happy to welcome three of the celebrities in the sport. And on the left, Mr. Luc Verstrepen, Marin Ferre in the middle, and Gary Smith on the right side. And I'm extremely and especially happy to see you together and to have you here, because that means that you are back in action. You are coaching again, which means that your teams are jumping again. So what happened? Where are you? What are you doing? Let's start on.
We're in Portugal, at Ferre, and I'm working with the Qatar Tigers team. The 8-way team was in Seville, so Jeremy has just finished with the Qatar Falcons. They have just finished a training camp, and Luke and Marin have just arrived here. This is their first week, and they are with the Lions and Cheetahs. So we are all extremely happy that the Qatar, we've managed through this COVID to get the ball rolling again, but it's still very fresh.
You're in Portugal, you say?
Yes.
And the Falcons were in Spain.
In Spain. It was very busy, the drop zone here, so their initial plan was to come to Skype Algarve. But thank goodness they have a sister company in Seville, in Spain, same company, and so Jeremy took the 8-way there.
And how are you getting back to Netherlands now? I just heard that Netherlands has a red flag up again, and Portugal has red flag up, and all those kind of things. Will you be stuck in Portugal now, or quarantine for a year in Netherlands, or?
The weather is so good here. I hope I get stuck here.
How is it between Portugal and France, Marin?
At least for the moment, it's possible to travel from one to the other. I came with my car, so I think it could be easier to go back.
So you're sneaking across the border at a country road somewhere next.
Yeah, possibly, yes.
Well, it's the same here everywhere, I guess. And Luke, how is it between Portugal and Belgium now?
Well, Belgium is one of the worst students in Europe for Corona. So, yeah, I'm traveling also with the car, the easiest way, and we have to fill in computer program. And if I come back, I have to do the quarantine, home quarantine, and do a test normally, like the procedures are. And what I understood on the moment, a test after 6 days again, and then after 7 days, 1 week, I'm free to go if everything is fine.
And you can quarantine yourself on the golf course, I guess, right? So
I hope so. I hope so. Yes.
Nobody else there. Social distance as much as you want. Fresh air. So that's probably a perfect way how to do it.
Yeah.
How long will you be in Portugal?
We stay another 2 weeks more. Yeah, we finished the first week already, and staying for another week more. 2 weeks more. So 3 weeks in total.
And it has been a very difficult time in the past. I mean, tell us now about the Qatar teams. They have been totally isolated so far, right? So that's the first time you're all back in action with them.
Yeah.
What was their situation in Qatar?
Well, we've just actually been discussing it, and they were telling me about this app that they have, but apparently it's going all over Europe now, that you cannot travel without this app on your telephone, and it indicates to you where you can or cannot go, and whether you are green or you are red, and if you are red, you cannot travel. So it's incredible how well controlled, or maybe too controlled that it has been. But they were in total lockdown for 6 months. That they haven't done anything. So we've got teams that have come out of doing nothing. So it's been a tough start, I think, especially for me with the Tigers. I mean, I think they are doing good, but for sure you can see that there's 0 jumps for 6 months has definitely taken a bit of a toll on them.
6 months, nothing.
Yeah, 6 months of nothing.
Except for doing pull-ups and push-ups and that kind of stuff.
I wish.
And watching videos. So
Yeah,
it's start from scratch for them actually. So how is it, you say, of course it's difficult naturally. How bad is it? What would you say now, like for the teams now who have really been on a break like this? Where are they coming back? 50% of their performance level, 70%, 90%, no change? What do you think?
Well, for me, if I can go quickly, I think that I must be honest, the Tigers, they came back good. I would say they were in the 80% zone, but we've only done A slot stuff. Like I haven't gone into where they were into B slots with non-standard. We've kind of done everything just standard, kind of just to get them back into jumping. And we did not push hard. We didn't do 12 jumps a day because it was a long camp for them, and the fact that their bodies weren't ready for it. But I must say, mentally, they were hungry. They were ready to jump. They want to compete, I think, as we all do. But so in that sense, there was more drive and passion than I've had before, which was great. But of course, you have to pace it a little bit. It's like going to run a marathon and you're not ready for the marathon. Yeah. So we kind of had to take it very, very easy. But I've spoken enough, and I'll let these guys speak for their guys.
Yeah, but it's about the same with the Lions. This is not so bad, but we still have to work on very basic blocks like a AA dive pool. And also we have to work a little with their downsizing because they just got this new canopy, 150 square feet. And so we have a lot of work to debrief them, not only for the free fall, but also for all the canopy ride.
Yeah, cheetahs a little bit the same. Yeah, we struggled the first week a little bit with guys who were sick a little bit out, travel, yeah, usual problems in the first days. I struggled a little bit jumping with alternates. I couldn't jump for 3-4 jumps with the same team on the moment. But now the second week it starts to get better. I had a little bit more step back, you know. I can say it was like maybe on a 60%, you know. Yeah, but otherwise, I hope we getting back on track soon. Really, yeah.
And right now you're on a wind hold, right? Is that the same like the Tramontana in Spain? Is that coming in on a regular basis? Or?
It's not as bad as the Tramontana for sure, because the buildings are still here and we can we feel safe. But no, it's too strong for especially for the lions and cheetahs. And apparently at 2,000 foot it's howling, so everybody is on the ground right now. So in fact we've taken the rest of the day off.
Are there any other teams training at the same time with you that you know, or is it just the Qatar delegation? What is it, Skydive Algarve, or where are you?
Yes.
Okay. Any other teams?
No, I didn't see any team training here.
Okay. So here, let's go to, we have talked about the Qatar teams, and we will, of course, continue with that. But you also have your pet projects. The beauty of having you here now all together is that we'll get updates actually from all across the planet. Because you're not, you're working now with the Qatar delegation, but Gary is working with Hayabusa at the same time. Marin is in France, and I asked you some questions, and Luc has your pet project is in Germany, Atomics. So I'm sure you're in touch with them. What's going on there? How is Atomics doing?
Well, Atomics is doing okay. I think they are on the track to get their level back. because of the change. We changed one member, Mark, for Paul. Yeah, till now, Paul has another slot, like he usually was a point, and now he is an inside center. So we have to get, we worked hard on the exits to get the exits out of the door. I mean, this is a big part for them, a difficult part for them. So on the moment, we only worked also standard, you know, A-slot standard things. And we want to get that part anyway better. We're doing some good jumps already, you know, but not yet everything is right. But we're working on it. They did only outdoor. We didn't do indoor yet. So this starts now to come. Yeah, now is, I think last weekend when I left, they had the first indoor session. Yeah. But outdoor, we didn't do that much jumps. We had some bad luck with some weather issues, the weekends that they have planned, because they have all jobs and they plan weekends, and some weekends was bad weather in Europe. So I think they did about 150 jumps, training jumps so far. That's what Atomics did, I guess. Yeah, but to evaluate after 150 jumps, it's on the good way.
Good. Well, did you travel to Germany for to train with them, or are they coming to Belgium to train?
No, I traveled to Germany, Hildesheim. That's the place where they training. And during Corona, after Corona, the lockdown, they started up pretty early Germany in Europe. I think one of the first countries around us who really started up the drop zones again, and they did a good job. I mean, it was really working well there. It took like 2-3 weeks, and they were just turning like usual, you know, really good. So from, I think, May, we were back jumping there.
Marin, France. How is France doing? Come on,
Yeah, on my side, I haven't done any coaching for the summer since I'm not coaching anymore the young junior aerokart team.
You're not coaching them anymore?
No, because I could not take any more time for that. And it's more in the hands of the French Federation with Mathieu Bernier and Damien Goriou from the 8-way. But I'm still in contact with them, and I know that they have done some jumps during the summer. So they try to become an outdoor team. It looks like there will be a little change in this team because one of these young guys, he has to focus on his studies. So they will probably do maybe a new team with the 3 of them and another one from the young team from the federation.
Okay, so
for me, yeah, there was no coaching, but in France, it was okay for jumping since end of June, beginning of July. A lot of jumping, and I know that the French teams they could train in Pamiers and Lille. That was okay.
Yeah, I know they are in the middle of the training camp now, and they will send the videos of the NSL Cloud Mondial soon. So I'm all curious, and then this will be over, and all the top team. Yeah, you should send the Qatar delegation. They have to do the draw too. That would be great. It's an opportunity to see actually where everybody is. Gary, send the tigers, send the cheetahs, send the lions.
We're a little bit scared. No, the tigers. We will send you jumps. We have to do the last. We have to do the last 2 rounds. The jumps were not great, but we want to support the meet, so we will send you the jumps. We're jumping out of 2 different aircraft here. There's a caravan with a very tight back door, but no excuses. We were not ready for the meet, but we've done 9 out of the 11 rounds, and we were hoping to finish it today, but the wind was there. So we will finish it tomorrow. We will send you. I don't know how, but I'll get you the jumps.
Thank you. Nobody's really ready for that anyway. Now we all know that. I mean, that's the
Yes.
timing, and I feel somehow even bad, doing this, because I know there's such a discrepancy between how much people could jump or teams could jump, but it doesn't matter. It's actually always like that anyway. Some
Exactly.
teams train a lot and some don't. Some
Yeah.
are pros, some are not, and so it has to be done at some point anyway. And it's some kind of an entertainment for now, or measurement.
Yeah, and I feel it makes it exciting. It's good for me. I want to see what the French teams are doing, what
Exactly.
Arizona airspeed's doing, rhythm. So it will be great to see it. And we never know the circumstances, but it's good to see. We can watch the videos, hopefully, and the scores.
Marin, what do you think? Is Mathieu happy when you see him? Does he have a happy face? Is it going well for the French teams? What do you think?
Yeah. I could see Mathieu maybe 10 days ago. They did a little training in my home drop zone in Tala, and so we could spend a little more time together. And yeah, he says that everything is doing not bad. Especially, he told me that the female team, with the comeback of Pamela, was pretty good. He was happy with that. Yeah, I don't know so much about the 8-way, but for the 2 4-ways, it was okay. They were happy. Yeah.
So Mathieu is not jumping in 4-way anymore. He's in the 8-way team.
No, just only for 8-way now.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's happy to do the 8-way.
Yeah, good. Well, it's glad to see. It's good to see Pamela back with the girls too. So that's wonderful. And Gary, last and not least, your pet project is the Hayabusa.
Yeah.
Next to the kata work. Any news from the Hayabusa quarters? I have their jumps already, and they look good.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, they had also a competition where they were in the middle of a training camp. They did it, I think, as all teams did it. They were doing 12 jumps a day, and they did 4 jumps one day, 4 jumps the next day, and 3 the following to finish the meet. They had their mistakes, they had their problems in the meet, but the problem, the sad news from the Hayabusa camp, they were supposed to be here right now doing a 5 or 6 day camp, but because of COVID, they were not allowed to travel. So the night, I believe the day before that they traveled, at midnight, the Belgians put the Algarve area where we are here right now in Portugal on a red, restricted area. So the military would not allow them to travel. So they missed the jumping. They were hoping to do another 50, 60 training jumps here, and that didn't happen. So unfortunately, they're still in Belgium.
Yeah, but Mike, he was in Italy.
Yes, but that was all before. I think Mikel left. He left the Italian Championships, and then he went to Spa, where they were supposed to train, but the weather was bad. Then he went to the wind tunnel, and you had the interview with him. He was in Dennis's house, which is right here at the wind tunnel.
Yeah.
And then they were supposed to come here, but that didn't happen.
Well, what else? Anything that we need to know? Other than that, I'm going to let you go and start the day and throw this out. So a little update.
I think Marin is going canopy flying here in the rocks, the soaring, and Luke and I are going to hit the golf course.
Ah, that's always a good time for. Well, windy is not very good for golfing either, huh? And you're flying in the rocks, Marin? What does he mean?
It means that I have a small paraglider, so I can try to do a soaring flying over the beach here in Algarve, if I can find a good spot.
Is the area known for that, for paragliding?
Yes. Yeah, it's a good place for this. Yeah.
Well, enjoy all that. That sounds like fun. So you have good alternatives at least, and no restriction. It's all outdoors, and no viruses flying around and all that kind of stuff. So that's good, I guess. Enjoy it. Thank you very much for taking the time, and I wish you great success with the teams, and say hello to the teams. I am so glad to see them back in the air now, back to it. Must have been a nightmare for them, you know, I guess.
Yeah, and we are lucky and we are very happy with this one, and obviously we have to hope that it can continue. But as we see in Europe, things change every day. It's countries are put on restricted, so you never know when you go back to your home country if you have to go into quarantine, and then are you allowed to come back here again? We kind of take it day by day right now.
And I'm so excited to see the jumps, so I look very much forward to that. Thanks for doing that and taking part in it. All right, guys, have fun. Thank you very much again, and good luck with everything.
Thank you. Thanks, good.